Lie in Our Graves by the Dave Matthews Band is in standard tuning and is a relatively involved song, but is really fun to play. It's going to be in the key of D, and the opening chord is a standard D chord, standard D major. I've got my first finger on the 3rd string 2nd fret, I've got my ring finger on the 2nd string 3rd fret, I've got my 2nd finger on the 1st string 2nd fret, and I'm strumming from the 4th string down. That's your opening chord. After you hit that opening chord, you'll be moving with a riff using your pinky finger and your 1st finger. You'll move out of this D chord using your pinky finger to the 5th string 4th fret, and then move with your 1st finger to the 5th string 2nd fret. So you've got D chord, pinky finger, 1st finger. Pinky finger's on the 5th string 4, 1st finger moves to the 5th string 2. After you get that, you're then going to hit the open 4th string. Then your 1st finger will go to the 4th string 2nd fret. Your pinky finger will go to the 4th string 4th fret. So putting this together slow, so far we've got is a D chord, and then after you get this, you're going to take your 1st finger and put it back down on the 3rd string 2nd fret where it had originally been inside of your D major chord. You'll hit it, and then you will go back to where your pinky is still planted on the 4th string 4th fret. So far what we've got is whenever you get to here, you then resolve it down into a G chord. You're going to move your 2nd finger to the 6th string 3rd fret. You'll leave your ring finger where it's been the entire time inside of this kind of placed on this D of the 2nd string 3rd fret, but you're going to move into this G formation. After you strike the G, you'll use your 1st and pinky fingers to add another little tonality inside of this G chord. You're going to take your 1st finger and place it down on the 4th string 2nd fret, and your pinky finger will go down on the 3rd string 4th fret. And you're going to strum through that, and then pick your 1st and pinky finger up. So inside of the G chord, you're wanting to lay down your 1st and 2nd, your 1st and pinky fingers where I told you there to put it, and then lift them back up to expose them, and you get a feel like. And that's the opening riff. It comes together like this. After it runs through that main riff several times, you then hear another chord change where it goes to an E minor and an A. The E minor is going to be a standard E minor, an open 6th string. Then I've got my 2nd finger on the 5th string 2nd fret, my ring finger on the 4th string 2nd fret, everything else open. And then the A, I'm just barring with my 1st finger along the 2nd frets of strings 4, 3, and 2. And hitting the open 5 string. Inside of that A, sometimes I hear Dave Matthews then hit a G before going back up into the D. If you want to hit that G out of the A, you would take your 2nd finger and put it down on the 6th string 3rd fret, and then go back up into your D. And in the actual song, the rounds aren't that tight together. It sticks on the main riff for more than just one round before it goes to the E minor. The E minor is like every 4 rounds or something, the E minor and the A. There's then a second riff that takes place in the verse, and this one is really kind of just as difficult as the first riff. You're going to move out of the descending riff of, and go instead to more of an ascending riff where you go D to an A minor. So the D, out of the D, you'll go with your first finger to the 4th string 2nd fret, then pinky finger to the 4th string 4th fret, I'm having to play it to remember how it goes. So D, first finger to the 4th string 2nd fret, pinky finger to the 4th string 4th fret, first finger then to the 3rd string 2nd fret, the 3rd string 2nd fret, and then back with your pinky to the 4th string 4th fret, and then open up the 4th string. So that part of the riff that's coming out of the D before moving to an A minor is D, open 4, 4-2, 4-4, 3-2, 4-4, open 4. And then after the open 4, you're going to go into an A minor chord. Standard A minor. I've got an open 5th string, I've got my 2nd finger on the 4th string 2nd fret, my ring finger on the 3rd string 2nd fret, my first finger on the 2nd string 1st fret, and an open 1st string. After the A minor, you're then going to hammer on to the 3rd string 2nd fret with your first finger, and then you're going to open back up the 3rd string. You're going to move with your ring finger to the 4th string 4th fret, and then go down to the 4th string 2nd fret with your first finger, and then go back up to the 4th string 4th fret with your ring finger, and then into the D. So out of the A minor, and then back into the D. And out of the D, you'll play the same ascending riff, then the A minor, the same riff, moving out of the verses, you want to hit another little riff that comes into a C and then D. The way that Dave Matthews plays that is you're going to be playing octave notes with your first finger and your pinky finger. I've got my first finger on the 5th string 3rd fret, and then my pinky finger on the 3rd string 5th fret, and I'm muting out every other string. I'm muting out the 4th string by how I'm laying my first finger, and then literally every other string has to be muted out as well. So all that you're wanting to be playing or have ring through is the 5th string and the 3rd string. So that's your C, and then you're going to take this exact same formation and slide it up 2 frets to a D, to the 5th fret with your first finger and 7th fret with your pinky finger. And it kind of slides up and then back down and then back up. And then it moves to an A minor, then a B minor. This is the first we've talked about a B minor. It is a standard B minor. I've got my first finger on the 5th string 2nd fret. I've got my ring finger on the 4th string 4th fret. I've got my pinky finger on the 3rd string 4th fret. And I've got my 2nd finger on the 2nd string 3rd fret. And I'm really just picking the 5th string through the 2nd string for that B minor. But if the 1st string comes in, that's okay. And really, if you get a little bit of ringing 6th string, it won't kill the chord either, because sometimes it's hard to play that B minor completely clean. So you've got an A minor into a B minor, and then slide with octaves back up to this C, and then it slides down to octave of B, and then hit a G. So A minor, B minor, So again, with the octaves, you're just using your first finger and your pinky finger. We're moving out of the B minor up to a C with an octave. So out of the B minor, lose your second finger and your ring finger and go back to muting every string other than the 5th string and the 3rd string, and pull up into a C. And then you're going to drop back down to the B, not a full B minor, just a B octave with your first finger and your pinky finger, and then hit a G, 6th string, 3rd fret. And then you'll jump back up to that part again before going back into the A minor. And so that all comes together like, and I'll play it slow. Second time through, after you hit that G, you're going to go back up into the main riff out of the D. After the second verse, coming out of the E minor to the A, back up into the D, you'll hit a full D, and this is where the band goes into their little jam. And the first note of the jam for the guitar is just the D that you've already hit, and then you're going to go to a C sharp minor. The way that you play the C sharp minor is you're going to come to the 9th fret with your ring finger of the 6th string. So 6th string, 9th fret, and then pinky finger is going to go on the 3rd string, 9th fret, and then put your first finger on the 5th string, 7th fret. And really you just want the 6, 5, and 3 strings ringing out. So you're coming out of a D, come up to the 9th fret, make that C sharp minor chord, and then you just want to drop down to a B minor. The way that you make that B minor is you're going to take this exact same shape for the C sharp minor and just move it down 2 frets. So your ring finger's on the 6th string, 7th fret, your first finger is on the 5th string, 5th fret, your pinky finger is on the 3rd string, 7th fret. And then you'll go down to a G chord. The way that I'm making this G chord is I've got my second finger on the 6th string 3rd fret, my first finger goes on the 5th string 2nd fret, and then my pinky finger goes on the 3rd string 4th fret. So G chord. And then take this formation and just slide it up 2 frets to make an A. So the first round of the jam is going to be a D that rings out, and then a C sharp minor, the B minor, and then G, A, and it repeats, except for the second time that it repeats, it doesn't come back up to a full D that we're familiar with like a standard D. It instead goes to this D up here that has doubled thirds on it. You're going to, out of the A, kind of hit the 6th string 5th fret, and run it up to you'll be on the 10th fret, the 6th string 10th fret, and then behind it you'll take your first finger and lay it down on the 5th string 9th fret. Your pinky finger will go on the 3rd string 11th fret, and you'll have an open D string. An open 4th string is fine. And then you walk back down to the C sharp minor, back down to the B minor, back to the G. After it does this twice, it then moves to an E minor. The way that you'll make the E minor is I would, coming out of this A, hit some fret, maybe the 7th fret, with your ring finger and pull it all the way up to the 6th string 12th fret. That's going to be an E note. And then behind it, you're going to have your first finger on the 5th string, 10th fret, and then your pinky finger will be on the 3rd string, 12th fret. This is going to be your E minor chord. It's going to move from the E minor to a B minor. So this shape, just move it all the way down to the 7th fret. And then it's going to go to an A chord, which we just looked at a second ago. And then a D with a lower third on it, which is kind of like an F sharp. And then G. The way that I'm making this D is I've got my first finger on the 6th string 2nd fret, and I've got my 2nd finger on the 3rd string 2nd fret. I'm going to let the 4th string ring out open in between, but you do not want for the 5th string to ring out. And then a G. I move my first finger up 1 fret and my 2nd finger up 2 frets. So my first finger is on the 6th string 3rd fret, and my 2nd finger is on the 4th string 4th fret, or the 3rd string 4th fret, I'm sorry. And there are multiple ways of playing all of these chords. They're a lot of times are called Dave Matthews chords. I'm sure that you're familiar with these chords if you listen and play Dave Matthews, but that is the second riff inside of the bridge. An E minor, B minor, an A major, D, G, and then it goes back up to the D,